The quality this week, selfless, Selfless, and the opposite of selfish. Selfless is the opposite of selfish. It is, the definition is little concern for yourself or more concern for others. Either one of those two. And the quote is from Coach Krzyzewski, who's the basketball coach at Duke, and he says that team sports build the quality of selfless. If in team sports you have to rely on each other, and the more you rely on each other, the more selfless you become. The selfish players, and great quote, the best players never win. That's what I said, the best players never win. The best team always wins. Well, what is the one ingredient that a team has? Any great, successful team is always going to have one quality above all others: selflessness. They're willing to give up themselves for the teammates that they have. And that's what makes them such great teams. 3 goals. You're going to write 3 goals this week. Now, the goals, the characteristic of the goal we're going to look at today is it has to be very specific. You don't write, and don't do this, I'm going to try hard. Well, after every side hard, define that for me. I'm going to hustle this week. Define that for me. See, what you want to do is put down a real specific thing. My wife's going to run a 5K. She got her an app on her phone that said couch to 5K. And on that app, it didn't say run a little bit today, run more tomorrow, and next week you'll be able to run 5K. No, it didn't say that. It said go out and jog 100 yards and then walk a mile. Day 2 said jog 200 yards. And I can't give you all the specifics of it, but every single day on that app, it had something. And her app said, if you can't do what you're supposed to do today, that's okay. Don't kill yourself. Keep doing what you can do until you feel comfortable, then move on. What's the difference? There isn't. That's goal setting. You put it down and you say, okay, I'm going to do it today until I feel comfortable. And then I'm going to move up a little bit. But you don't write down things like try hard, hustle, do my best. And you hear that so many times from mothers, and they tell their kids, just go out there and do your best. And I always want to say, I got a question. What's your question, Coach? What's his best? Can you define what your best is? Probably not. What you do is you're going to go out there and run a 4.940. And tomorrow you're going to run a 4.940, and eventually you're going to run a 4.8. But you're going to define, and your 3 goals are going to be very, very specific. Now, the quality this week is the one that is the least developed in anybody. No one is born being selfless. How many 6-year-olds do you know, hey, these are my toys, they're for everybody. Anybody that wants to use them, they're all for y'all. You don't ever see that. 6-year-old, it's mine. Keep away from it. This is mine. Well, Stephen, you got 27 toys there, and Billy doesn't have any, but they're mine. That's selfish. And the older you get, the less selfish you should become. So if you're 14 or 44 and you're still selfish, and you've never developed the quality of being selfless. Those 300 greatest leaders we talk about that have these 36 qualities, probably the most highly developed of all of them was selfless. Nelson Mandela stayed in prison until he got apartheid. Martin Luther King died for civil rights for everybody else. These people were selfless. They gave of themselves completely. That's what selfless is. And if you're ever going to be the best you that you can be, you're going to have to give all of you to other people. And when you give all you have, then you start becoming the best you that you can be.